Are there any baby names that you've heard and you went from being kind of taken aback, you don't know how you feel about them, maybe even having like a little bit of a negative reaction, but you sat with them and now you are really like, you love the idea of that name, even if you yourself wouldn't use it? I have an example recently. I was at my aunt and uncle's house and I was talking to my cousin's 4-year-old and just asking him about preschool and who his friends were. And he was giving me like all the standard 4-year-old names. I don't know if there was like Theo and Scarlett, like that. But then he's like listing them off and then he goes, and Ethel. He's like, Ethel, tell me about Ethel. Like, hearing it on a 4-year-old, I'm like, that's kind of weird. And by the end of the conversation with him, though, I'm like, that is so cute. I love old names. Ethel took me aback, despite my love for old vintage names, just because it's one I have like such a strong association as that being like an elderly name. But then like the more I thought about it on like a little 4-year-old, the more I loved it. I looked it up. It was only used 23 times last year. I didn't look how many times it would have been used 4 years ago. I should have. It'll be interesting to see like what that next generation thinks of the name Ethel too, like today's toddlers and little kids. So I feel like a lot of people are hearing Ethel and be like, oh my gosh, that name's so geriatric. And for my generation, that association is probably a lot stronger because we were alive when there were still a lot of Ethels kicking around. It had its peak like in the 1900s, 1910s. It fell out of the top 50 in the 1920s and the top 100 in the 1930s. So the number of Ethels today's little kids have been exposed to is like minuscule compared to like my generation. I don't know what names they're going to think of as like the geriatric names. Like when they get older, if it's going to be like Deborah or Linda or Pamela. I'm trying to think of like what their grandma's names are now.